Hello besties, I had some more opinions I wanted to share with you and so I made this video. These opinions will be quite upfront but that's the whole point. They must be said and someone needs to do it. You already know the disclaimer. These are only my opinions so feel free to respectfully disagree in the comment section and tell me what you think if you want. Now without further ado let's start. The 4th gen leaders are all girl groups, besides a few exceptions with boy groups such as N-, Stray Kids and TXT. 4th gen is dominated by girl groups. Groups like aespa, STAYC, ITZY, IDOL, IVE, are surely dominating, both digital and physical wise, not to mention they have big and solid fandoms just like boy groups and they keep on breaking records left and right. An honorable mention definitely needs to go to IZ*ONE. Even if they are disbanded they were definitely one of the 4th gen leaders when they were active. Anyway what I'm saying is that 4th gen is really being ruled by girl groups and this is pretty much a fact, not an opinion. 4th gen is as vocally talented as 3rd gen. I'm gonna get the 3rd gen supremacists mad but it must be said. Yes, some 3rd gen vocalists are definitely some of the best vocalists in K-pop like EXO's vocal line, WJSN's vocal line, Sejong, and Red Velvet's Wendy. But look at how many 3rd gen main vocalists are actually pretty mediocre. 4th gen does have some amazing vocalists that are definitely on par or above a lot of 3rd gen ones. For example NMIXX's Lily, Weekly's Monday, Jo Yuri, Pink Fantasy's Yechin, Stacy's Xiun, Cherry Bullet's Haeyoon and Bora, Purple Kiss Goen and Swan, Treasure Yedim and Dati's Jungho. If you don't know these people and how talented they are then that's your problem and you shouldn't speak on 4th gen as a whole when such talented vocalists exist. If you're only familiar with 4th gen vocalists from the big 3 then that's on you. You can't just consider all 4th gen vocalists mediocre. If you keep on saying 3rd gen was so much better vocally wise I think you just don't know much about 4th gen's vocalists. Yes, 3rd gen had some great and iconic main vocalists but the number of 3rd gen great vocalists doesn't weight out the number of 4th gen ones, or at least not as much as you make it out to be. Stans can do whatever the hell they want with their money. I'm tired of people saying it's weird to collect photo cards or it's weird spending money on online concerts or on albums in order to get into a fan sign. I don't do any of those things but some people do and you should gladly mind your own business. People can do whatever they want with their money. It's not you who are paying for them. So it's really unnecessary making snide remarks about what people do with their income. Stop bitching about pre-debut stanning. You all be saying oh you haven't even heard the music you're just stanning cause you like the members and excuse me. A lot of K-pop stans generally care about liking the members more than they care about liking the music. A lot of stans give a lot of importance to visuals and that's a fact. So if people do the same when it comes to pre-debut stanning then so be it. Stop calling them superficial when you are the first one that would probably be more invested in a good-looking idol compared to someone who's less pretty. I'd understand you calling pre-debut stans superficial if you didn't care so much about visuals. But K-pop stans care so fucking much about appearance in general. For example, straight girls mostly stanning boy groups because they're sexually attracted to them and things like that. Or people biasing idols for their looks instead of their talents. K-pop stans do it all the time. You have no idea how many superficial K-pop stans are out there and then you tell me pre-debut stans are too focused on appearance and not substance. Bitch please. If you're gonna call someone out for being superficial then you should be calling out 90% of K-pop stans. Not only pre-debut stans that get attached to someone even if they haven't heard their music. If an artist or group bring in more money it makes sense for the company to give them a higher budget. Of course companies should be fair and give their artists the same opportunities. Especially because if you always give an artist the bare minimum how can you expect them to be more successful and bring you more money? So obviously companies should think about that and treat their artists equally. But then again, how can we even get mad at a company for giving a higher budget to their main moneymakers? It's sad to see but it makes sense. If they bring in the most money while the other company's artists don't, then it makes so much sense for the company to invest more in their moneymakers. Especially because if these artists bring in a lot of money then they deserve to have those money being invested in high quality MVs etc. It is true that sometimes companies are biased towards a group and they give them a higher budget than they give their moneymakers which is unfair. But companies going all out for their moneymakers when it comes to budget is not unfair. I often hear people comparing how certain artists under a company are treated in terms of given budget. For example how Starship gives more budget to Monster X and IVE, compared to WJSN and Gravity. And I'm just like excuse me, who is more successful? Who brings in the most money? No wonder some artists get more considering they earn more. And I'm not saying it's right because companies should be as fair as possible. But it's just the way it is. At the end of the day companies are willing to invest more in artists that bring them the most money. Also if an artist is extremely successful they deserve to have the money they earn being invested in their activities and I don't see why people would complain about that if a group earned everything that is being given to them, thanks to their success and achievements. Fearless aged pretty badly. LE SSERAFIM's Fearless is probably the 2022 song that aged the worst, at least for me. It was catchy and had me bopping to it for like a week or two at most. and then it just got pretty boring. Now whenever it comes on I just skip it most of the times. I think the problem with this song is that it's very plain and doesn't have any particular moment to look forward to. It's all just kinda the same from start to finish and there's not really any highlight that makes you wanna keep listening. I still think it's kind of a bop and I don't dislike it, but I just think it aged so badly compared to other releases this year. There are other songs that have been played so much they could have gotten tiring, but no matter how much certain songs like Idol's Tomboy or I've Love Dive have been overplayed, they never get boring, but Fearless did, and it did pretty quickly in my opinion. Yes, being able to sing high notes makes you a better vocalist overall. This isn't about technique but just about being a more complete vocalist overall. High notes are a big part of K-pop and being able to sing them just gives you an advantage over those who can't. If you compare two vocalists, one who can sing high notes and the other who can't, obviously the one who can hit them has something the other idol doesn't have, which makes them better overall. Of course someone can have a better technique even if maybe they can't sing high notes, but not being able to sing them is still something they lack. So in conclusion you're a better vocalist if you can sing high notes. Not necessarily better in terms of technique but better suited for the main vocal position. The only company that actually fell off is Woollim. There are a lot of opinions going around about companies that fell off and most of them didn't fell off at all. I feel like people just say a company fell off if they personally don't enjoy the company's new groups or the sound they're giving to their artists. But companies falling off only happens when they lose the relevancy they had before. Maybe because the relevant artists they had disband or are inactive and none of their juniors seem able to continue their seniors' legacy in terms of success and popularity, leading to the company's name fading into obscurity. This is exactly what happened to Woollim. Think about their famous groups like Infinite and Lovelyz. Infinite were definitely one of the most successful boy groups in second gen, a group that put out so many iconic songs that are still relevant to this day, while Lovelyz were definitely one of the first girl groups to come to mind especially during the beginning of third gen, being known for their cute concept, amazing vocals and bops like a chew. Now if I think about Golden Child, Rocket Punch and Drippin' I just don't see them ever becoming as relevant. Eunbi is probably the only exception as she's definitely the most famous and the one who sells the best but still, I don't think her overall fame will ever match her seniors. So in conclusion I think the name of the company is just gonna be forgotten and they will no longer be a mid-tier company like they used to be. Your faves be doing aegyo all the time but when Wonyoung acts cute then it's a problem. There are so many idols that constantly act cute, some of them only in specific moments, others much more often because they are just naturally cute. And yes, I've seen people complaining about other idols for being cute, but it seems like Wonyoung is by far the most targeted. You'd be saying she's faking her cuteness as if your faves didn't also act cute for the cameras. What do you think? Do you think your faves are always the cute babies you think they are even when the cameras turn off? Do you think your grown-ass biases are like that in private? Fucking ridiculous. Wonyoung is a cute girl, and yes, I'm sure part of her acting cute is because of the fans and she probably wouldn't do it in another situation, but this can be applied for literally every idol, so how come you make it seem as if it's only a Wonyoung problem? And I would also like to remind you that she is still 17 so she's still pretty young and there's nothing wrong with her being cute. Then you have people saying she's faking her personality for the cameras and I'm sorry but you don't know her personally. You cannot know her real personality so how can you say she's faking it? And then again, no idol acts unfiltered in front of the cameras. At the end of the day every public figure shows only certain things about them while keeping others private. That's normal and everyone does it. But of course Wonyoung is a fake bitch according to you. If she's being cute and happy she's faking it. If she's being quiet then you think she's mad at someone. If she's being friendly then she's a pick-me. But if she's being distant then she's cold and rude. At this point Wonyoung could literally do whatever and you'd still find a problem with it. Fucking get a life and leave her alone. Caring so much about someone breaking beauty standards makes you just as superficial as those who obsess over perfect visuals. I'm sorry but if you care so much about someone that looks different from the usual standards you're still focusing a lot on their looks and you're still giving a lot of importance to their physical appearance so stop acting as if you didn't care about visuals like other people. You're doing exactly the same, caring about how someone looks. It's just that you want to act superior for liking a more uncommon type of visuals. But if when it comes to idols with different types of visuals the only thing you care about is their visuals instead of their actual talents, then that doesn't make you any better than those people who care about beauty standards. You just want to sound woke, but you're only pathetic. Well okay guys, these were some opinions that really needed to be said and I just wanted to talk about them. If you want feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys, thanks again for watching and see you in the next video.